My question to you is, do you think God will understand why it's hard for some people to believe and let them into heaven if there is? That's a fantastic question. That's a question that I think I've addressed it before. I don't think I've addressed it in that angle. But do you think God will understand why it's hard for some people to believe? Uh, yes, honestly. And because I think when you actually look at what belief is, well, I guess my definition of belief and what I have come to understand is actual belief and not just like a secondhand revelation that says, oh, this happened, so this must be real, so believe it. It's like, no, that's not what belief is. Belief comes when you have a firsthand revelation experience that really completely changes you. And if you were to turn away from that, then you would be turning away from yourself. You would be a hypocrite. You would be a coward. I would say that yes, he would understand why it's hard for people to believe based on my understanding of what I have come to think, believe, what belief is. And it's not like I was saying, it's not that like secondhand revelation, secondhand experience, and then someone saying, "Oh, just believe it. Here you go, believe it." It's actually having that firsthand revelation and experience. And I think it's okay, and I'm speaking for myself. It's okay to be at a place where you're so like skeptical, doubtful of who he is, of who he says he is, his existence, and all of that, because you want truth. Like, I don't think you believing in something, believing or saying you believe in something, that it's actually you don't have a belief in it, but it's just a secondhand revelation. I don't think that's it's not belief, but there's no foundation in that at all. There's no foundation for living in that. And if you really believe something, like I said before, you would be a hypocrite and a coward to turn away from it. So I do think God understands why people don't believe, and it's hard for them to believe, because it's actually people are searching for that truth, and some people don't know how, and they have to figure out how, and it's where do I even look? Who do I listen to? What do I mean, there's so many routes, avenues, and the reality is it's not, God doesn't show up on people's doorsteps every day all the time. Like, he doesn't present himself in the flesh, in person, and people would argue, well, that was Jesus. And it's like, was it? I don't know. I wasn't there. Who knows? Like, even if Jesus was a historical person that was on the earth, that still doesn't say, yes, he was absolutely the Son of God. He was absolutely Jesus Christ, the Son of God that paid for the sins of the gospel story. Um, but I do think because of people authentically searching out God, searching for truth, if they are looking for truth, I don't see why God wouldn't let them into said heaven, because he says, okay, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. This gets into the whole concept of salvation. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Anyone who comes, you have to go through me to get to the Father, i.e. heaven. So if he is the way, the truth, and the life, if he is the truth and people are adamantly in search for what is true, then they're pursuing him. And if you're pursuing him, then wouldn't you technically be in relationship with truth? Because truth is a journey. Truth isn't just like hearing some knowledge and some information and then, you saying, well, I believe it. It's more than that. It really is. I mean, belief is more than that. There is more weight to that. When people throw around, like I just did a video about this today, people throw around the whole thing of, well, I have a relationship with God. And it's really turned into like a dogma inside of religion, instead of, no, I actually have a relationship with God. And I think it's the same thing with belief. Like, people say, well, yeah, sure, I believe in God, but actually, do you believe in God? Because if you really believed in God, like, I've seen people flip flop like that. Like, when they're happy in life, they believe in God, and then when something bad happens, they don't believe in God. And I'm like, you probably never believed in God in the first place. So all that to say, to answer your question, yes, I do think God would understand, because I think God understands the journey and pursuit of truth. And if they are authentically, sincerely, genuinely seeking for that truth, and they don't find it by the time that they die, and there is a heaven and there is a hell, I don't see why God would turn them away. So, hope that answers your question. That was a long, drawn out answer, but maybe that answers it. So, there you go.